So we have to talk about Yunus Korpisalo. 4 goals against, 4 goals on 4 consecutive shots in the second period.
I hadn't realized that. Yikes.
He finishes this game with only 13 saves, a .765 save percentage. If you're into the expected goals against and whether or not a goalie is exceeding or disappointing, near that, he had minus 2.6 goals against expected. And he is now tied with Vitek Vanacek as the lowest goals saved above expected or below in their case in the National Hockey League this season. This isn't a one-game problem. This isn't a one-week problem. This is a season-long problem with Yunus Korpisalo. What do you do with him? Do you sit him on the bench for the next 2 games and beyond? Or do you let him work through whatever the heck this is?
I mean, it's tough, Ross, because you're looking at this and sure, this was a bad, very bad game for Korpisalo. Absolutely. And he's had stinkers like this consistently this season. But his last stretch of games were pretty good here. And you're looking at a team that doesn't have Forsberg. You brought up Mads Søgaard. Look, we love Mads, but it's not like he's kind of forced the Sens' hand and forced them to start him instead of Korpisalo here, unfortunately. Could he do that with a bigger sample size? I believe he could, but he hasn't done that yet. So I don't know if you're in a position to kind of lay the hammer down on Korpisalo here, but at the same time, Ross, you know how I feel about this. The last thing I want is Mads Søgaard getting stunted development because he's backing up a goalie that's playing terrible and he's not getting the playing time that he should get to try to continue his development here. Like, this is what we were worried about, right? Like we said, how about don't bring Mads up? Let him consistently start games in the AHL because it's a dumpster fire up in Ottawa, and have Mando or Levy come up and back up a game or 2 here because Mads has only played 2 games since he's been up. I mean, started 2 games since he's been up. Like, this is a guy that should have started 4 or 5 games in Belleville during that stretch. So,
and Belleville's fallen off big time since he got called up too.
Just like we talked about, that was going to ruin Belleville's mojo as well. And they had a back and forth effort up against the Grand Rapid Griffins tonight where it looked like they could have had a chance, but ultimately I didn't see the final score, but it looked like they didn't get it done.
Correct.
So, yeah, I think at the very least, Ross, you start Mads up against Nashville. I think at the very least. I was looking at the schedule today and I was like, it's like, obviously you want to try to ride Corpy. He's the guy that's getting paid the big bucks and he's your top guy right now. But
can't do it. I'm done with Korpisalo. I am.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they really should have mixed in a couple more Mads games, even though Korpisalo had been playing well there. Because now I feel like Mads is in kind of a tough spot, right? Like, it's now if you're putting Mads in and now everyone's like, well, we can't trust Korpisalo, so it's all on your shoulders, kid.
Yeah.
And he kind of had to deal with that last season, and there was ups and downs to that experience. And I just don't want to see a situation where you have a goalie of the future, or at least a goalie you've invested a lot of draft capital and a lot of time into in Mads Søgaard, and you let it squander away because you can't figure your stuff out in the crease in the NHL, which is basically what happened to Philip Gustafsson, unfortunately. So I just, if the Senators aren't able to draft and develop a goalie to take them somewhere, I don't think they're going to be able to figure it out. There's been multiple trades. You look at Matt Murray, ultimate failure. You have to trade picks and
this is worse
salary to get out of it. You look at Cam Talbot.
This is worse than Matt Murray, by the way.
Gustafsson 1-for-1. And then you say, okay, the trades aren't working. Let's sign a free agent goalie long-term.
Ridiculous.
And it's already falling apart in the first season. And this is why I was, everyone wanted to be excited about Korpisalo. It's a big signing. The Sens needed a goalie. Okay, maybe you got one here, but I was cautiously optimistic about it because Korpisalo was a guy that had never proved that he could do it. Now, we always gave him the asterisks of, well, he played in Columbus. They weren't a good team. Okay, he had a nice little stretch during the regular season with LA, a good team, but then he fell apart during the playoffs. It's just signing a free agent goalie to a 5-year deal is so damn risky. And Pierre Dorion liked to kind of say, hey, he got the win by getting it down to 4 million AAV, but that's not looking like a win right now. And anytime a team trades for a goalie at the trade deadline and then just lets them walk after, that's an immediate red flag for me. LA needed a goalie so damn badly, and they had a goalie in Korpisalo, and they said, nah, we think it's a smarter move to let him walk for nothing. And then the Ottawa Senators signed him to I was going to say a mega deal. That's not really fair, but a long-term deal. And in year one, it's not looking good here. Now, do I believe that Korpisalo could turn it around? Absolutely. There's lots of time.
I don't. I think he's a bad goalie. I really think that Matt Murray was a better goalie in Ottawa than Korpisalo. He can't make saves on long shots.
You're right on that, yeah.
He's the most deflating goalie in the league.
Yeah.
And even when we signed him, Pillsy, you and I were like, wow, all these acrobatic saves. That's because he's always out of position.
Exactly. Yep.
It's embarrassing how much he gets beat clean. You can't have it in the National Hockey League when you're a winning team. Can't have goals coming in 20 feet away all the time. I wonder if there's a stat out there what the average length away the shot is per goal, because I guarantee you he's first in the league for furthest away.
Well, and it's one thing, Ross, for it to be a point shot through traffic or things like that, but these are clean wristers.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
It really, like, I'm trying to like tiptoe around it, but like I'm all the way out on Korpisalo. He's not going to be the guy.
No,
it's like in football. You either have a quarterback or you don't. Like in hockey, you either have a goal or you don't. And it's not. I'm not like. There's no way he's coming back from this.
But what do you? And dude, I get your frustration. I guess I'm just trying to.
They will never win a playoff game with Joonas Korpisalo in goal.
I'm trying to think big picture here. Like, what do you do? You're looking at Korpisalo. You're already out on him. He's got 4 years left at $4 million. Yeah. Anton Forsberg, major injury concerns and not looking great either. Is one more year on his deal after this. And Mads Søgaard not ready to be a starter in the NHL. Like, what do you do here? Because if this team doesn't figure out goaltending, Timmy, Brady, Sanderson, Claude Giroux, all those guys can have career years and they will get nowhere.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But I think that in terms of this year, you have to see what you have with those two guys, especially Søgaard. Søgaard more than anyone.
Yeah.
He's a year older than he was last, because Korpisalo is not the guy. He's just not the guy, and they're not going to win with him. So he's proven that to me. Look, Korpisalo's had 12 games this year where he's played the whole game, and his save percentage is 900 or better. And the Sens are 9-2-1. That's 900 and better. 900 isn't even that great anymore.
Yeah.
But they're 9-2-1 when he's 900 or better. When he's below 900, you can kiss any chance of winning the game goodbye.
As you should. Any goalie below 900 should not win a game. And that's the thing, Ross. Like, it's not like we're asking the world of our goalies here. Just give us 905. 905 save percentage, and this team's record would be so much better.
Tonight was his 18th game where he had a save percentage below 900, and his only win was against the San Jose Sharks. And the team had to bail him out on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be winning games if your save percentage is under 900. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's... Remember when Dorion's goal was to get a 918 save percentage a couple years ago? That seems so crazy now. Was that last year?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, my God. 918.
Yeah. To answer your question, like, do you pony up and go get a big name goalie? Like, we hear Nashville's coming to town Monday. There's the talk with UC Saros, where it's like, if they make us an offer you can't refuse.
But how do you make them an offer you can't refuse while having the money available?
Yeah,
like if you're bringing in a big name, you have to dump the Korpisalo contract, whether it's through a trade or through a buyout.